Got a John Deere 9000 series track axle. So this is specifically a 90/30. And what we want to cover today is installation and preventive maintenance. So this particular axle came off of a cab fire tractor, so it had a good oil scan, but it had some fire on the differential area, so we sent it to our shop. It's been completely taken apart. Everything was checked, inspected, cleaned, reassembled, new bearings, new seals, and there's zero contamination inside of it right now. And that's the way we want to keep it, and that's the way you would want to keep it. So at installation, if you have the person that needs the complete axle like this, you've had a major failure, and you're going to have metal all the way through both final drives, through the differential, which also puts metal into the rest of your tractor. So while it is filtered, it may be filtered from the axle to the transmission to the hydraulic pump, it's still in the system. The biggest concern and issues that we see is that when you unhook a line or a hose from a part that just failed, and it has that metal or contamination in it, all you're doing is putting it right back into the component that you just replaced. So not only does it affect the long-term life of the part that you just replaced, it's also affecting the rest of the parts that are in the loop. So hydraulic pump, selector control valves, potentially front or rear axles, depending on what component and what tractor you have. So getting that flush is important. So it's become part of our installation, not suggestions, it's our recommendations as part of the warranty. We want to see that documentation on a work order when you install it, because you really want, you need that. And so the installation work order, hydraulic flush, we've also started the preventive maintenance with the oil scans. So on this axle here at 50 hours, you're going to change the axle filter or hydraulic filter, or sometimes both, depending on what the recommendation is from the factory. And when you do those, you're going to pull an oil scan and just drop it in the mail. We get the results back, and if we find that there's contamination in it, we give you a call, try to help you work through those issues. If it's an issue that potentially could be in the axle, then one, we know that, hey, we could have a problem with our part, and we want to 100% take care of that. But if we get a scan back that says that you have brass or copper, something that would be known more for a transmission issue, then we'll advise you that, here's the results, and we're seeing a high copper or brass content or element in there, which means you really need to figure out where that's coming from. Because one, it could have been what contributed to the failure of that part that you just replaced, but it's certainly going to continue to affect the rest of the parts in the system. So brass, more likely a hydraulic pump, copper, more likely a transmission. And these are just guidelines. But anyway, it gives us an indication we got something going on. So if we do it at 50 hours and we have a high elevation, then what we can do is suggest that we do one in another 50 hours or maybe 100 hours, whatever the recommendation is from the service guidelines. And then we're able to chart that. So is it the same? Is it higher? Is it lower? What happened? And it's just really, it's preventive maintenance. We're recognizing there's an issue there, how we manage that with you to help you get to the root cause of your problem that would have caused you to replace any one of these pieces, and also preventing you from having to replace more. So we pay for the oil scans. We provide for a 1,000-hour warranty. We provide, 4 per 1,000. So if you have a 2-year warranty, you get 8. If you have a 3-year warranty, you get 12. The only exception to that would be, if we start seeing something that's odd going on and we require or suggest that you pull more samples, then we can either send you more or we can get those picked up at your local dealer. Either way, we think it's a good policy. We want to take care of our warranty issues. We do not want to take care of issues that are contributed to these failures. And rather than being like some of the manufacturer warranties, where it's easy for those guys to say, well, that you voided your warranty. We really don't want to do that. We want to help you get going. You're buying used parts because you either can't find new parts or you're trying to save money, and it's just not what we want to do to decline your warranty. So just trying to be upfront with everyone. Encourage those hydraulic system flushes and encourage you to do the oil scans. As long as you do those things, and if there was a failure on our component, we're totally fine with fixing it for you. If it's not on us, we want to be able to alert you to that. So I hope that explains that a little bit. I'll give you just a one show here. We just happened to get these axles in from one of our shops. And so all of these fall into the same category of, you know, when there's a failure, there's going to need to be a flush. If we can help you out, let us know.